Hey Cubs, Miss Marino here. This is going to be my first art lesson for 3rd through 5th grade. Originally, I was going to do this just with 4th and 5th, but 3rd grade, I think you're actually pretty prepared for this. We are making mandalas. So if you saw my time-lapse video yesterday, I showed you some examples. So mandalas are basically patterns that radiate out or go out from the center, and usually these patterns are contained in circles. So circles and circles. And you can see here I'm trying to show you where the circles were in that mandala. And here's another example. So this mandala is a lot messier. I did not use circles to trace. This is also a totally fine option. And here is the mandala I drew yesterday in the time-lapse video. This one, it's easier to see where my 3 traced circles were. So this one is obviously not colored. And we're going to go ahead and draw a mandala together. So this is just one example. You could tell from those 3 that your mandala can be entirely different from mine. I'm showing you what I'm using to trace my circles. So this bowl, I'm going to use that outside large edge, and then the masking tape, I'm using the outside and inside of that. So I like to start with my bigger circle first. I think it makes it a little easier to make the circles centered inside of each other. Make sure that whatever you're tracing stays totally still while you trace it with your pencil. And then I'm going to grab my masking tape. I'm going to trace the inside and the outside. Now, once you've traced the inside and the outside, go ahead and remove the object you were tracing. So my mandala is going to have 3 basic circles. And when I work on my mandalas, I always like to start in the center, and then I make my way out. I am just thinking of these designs as I go. I haven't really made a plan. So I'm going to start in the center to fill that big circle. It has a lot of space inside of it, just with a spiral that connects to the outside edge of that first circle. Now, I'm going into the next section, which is the width of masking tape. And mandalas technically should be fairly symmetrical or even. So one half should match the other half. What I'm doing right now with my pencil is just guessing at what would be halfway, and then 1/4 of the way, and then 1/8 of the way. And I'm going to do what would be center to those lines I just drew on the outside of that circle, just to make some fairly even triangles. These are not going to be perfect. I am not using a ruler. Some of you may not have something like a ruler you can use to make straight lines. So I just want to show you that that is totally okay. Now, if you have a magazine or even a book, you can always use the edge of those to trace straight lines as well. At this point, I am almost done drawing my triangles. I'm going to have 8 total. Again, they're close to being the same, but they are definitely not perfect. They're not perfectly the same. Now, I feel like just these triangles inside of this section of circle maybe isn't quite enough. I want to put a little bit more in here. So once I erase the lines I used to help measure my triangles, I'm going to fix those triangle lines first, and I'm thinking about what I could possibly put in between these triangles. So I think circles would be good, but I want to do a circle every other space. So right now I'm counting to make sure that works. So I'm going to try it. So I've got 3 circles and 4. Perfect. And I would like to just put little upside down triangles in the remaining spaces. As I'm finishing up my last 2 triangles for this section, I am thinking about what I would like to do in the last large part of the circle, kind of like the outside of the donut, maybe is a good way to say it. So I have the most space around here, and I'm trying to think how I can fill it. So just like I did with the first circle, I'm going to kind of measure around this circle and make some lines to decide what is halfway, what is 1/4 of the way, and then what is 1/8 of the way. Those lines I drew before, those are actually going to help me out. I'm going to also put some lines around the actual outer edge of this whole mandala so that I connect fairly straight lines to it. I'm thinking, yeah, let's just do some more larger triangles. So I'm connecting basically the tops of 2 of the inner triangles. I'm doing a triangle that connects from the top of the 2 triangles in the middle section. And I'm going to do that all the way around, which means I should get 8 triangles. I'm happy with these 8 triangles, but I actually like the idea of putting a line up the middle of them using those tiny little lines that are inside of that. So just connecting the very top of the triangle down through the middle. I think this is going to add a little more interest to this part. Now that I've finished those lines inside of my triangles, I feel like I still need a little more. You can see me thinking here, and I'm just gonna make a quick decision. So I'm gonna do some little, they look kind of like sunshines maybe, in between each of these triangles. So I'm gonna go all the way around. I did not measure for these at all. I'm just going to look at them and try to make them as close to each other as possible in size and in shape. Still isn't quite enough. So I'm going to do one more layer of that over what I've just done all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I still feel like I need one more thing in this space. So over those, I'm going to draw a small circle. I'm glad I added these smaller circles. I think that makes the outer edge of the mandala look really nice. I don't know how much I love this inner spiral, but I'm going to go ahead and stop for now. And that's a really important lesson for you guys to think about is don't keep overworking your art. Have a good stopping place. So just a quick refresher, the art project we've done today, we've been making mandalas. And mandalas are patterns that are within circles. So here are those original examples again. So this is a fully colored mandala. This is another color mandala, a little messier. Here is the mandala I drew for my live stream, kind of similar to the one I did today. And here's the one that I've shown you guys today. So here are the steps, just quickly written out for you to help you get started. Step 1, you have to draw your circles. Step 2 is drawing your patterns from the middle to the outside. And step 3 is to, as always, have fun. I hope you're all doing well and I miss you.